Welcome to Royish Good Looks 2. My name is Roy, and can we talk about how beautiful this scene is from the Skeleton Crew season finale? The music, the acting, the emotion, it's very simple, but it's powerful. And spoilers ahead, if you haven't already seen it, let's take a look and a listen, and I'll tell you why I think this scene is so incredible. So let's rewind a little bit and I'll tell you my thoughts kind of scene by scene here. I love when Wim yells to Jod here. And the score, it takes a pause for a moment. Is Jod gonna come along? Jod! No, he's not. And they punctuate that moment. Bum. They put a period on that as the elevator door is closing. And then we cut back to Jod all alone, walking up to the window to watch the frigate fall out of the sky. And then this moment here, this is the moment that wrecks me every time, where he clearly sees the frigate falling from the sky. The duet of strings drops out and we lose our footing a little bit. And we just start to kind of like float in the surreal nature of like what's going on here. And Jod realizing like, whoa, what have I done? Which is interesting because he says that earlier.
You think you can send your ship out for help? You don't know what you've done.
He doesn't know what he's done here, but he gets a moment of clarity and the instrumentation switches from the strings to just flute and harp, and it's so light and it's so delicate and it's so vulnerable, which is the opposite of Jod's character. He is aggressive and he's guarded, and it's fascinating to me to see Jod's character and this scene arranged this way. And so there's a couple things in this scene and this melody that I absolutely love. The sequence of notes here, la, do, fa, mi, do. When we jump up to fa, that moment to me is like, okay, we're going to be a little hopeful here. La, do, fa. That is the outline of a major chord, but we're inverted to have that third on the bottom. But that third, the note is la, which to me is also kind of like the evil home bass note, la ti do ti la, and that's where we're starting from. But we get hopeful when we jump up to fa, la do fa mi do. It lets you down a little bit, and we end up outlining sort of like a major 7 chord, or even just the minor chord, la do mi. And that's Jod. Like, you want to believe that he's going to do the right thing and be a good guy. But at that base level, he's a pirate. He's on la. He's on the evil note the whole time. We want him to do the right thing, but he lets you down a little bit. It's a beautiful melody to pair with that characterization of him. And then when it repeats the second time through, la, do, fa, mi, fa, ti, there's that tritone, that classic troublesome harmony. And as that's happening, Jod gives this little smirk. And I think this is the most interesting part about this is like, what is Jod thinking? The score is influencing how we're interpreting it. And to me, I'm wondering like, is Jod reflecting on how he didn't do the right thing and now he's coming to terms with it like, dang, the kids beat me, you know? I couldn't get over my selfish, greedy nature, and where did it get me? You know, what have I done? Is he realizing that? Or does he still just have that fire in his belly, the mad scheme in his heart, and he's thinking about the next step of how he can, you know, get ahead again?
Always a fire in your belly and a mad scheme in your heart.
But all while he's watching the frigate, you know, his home, his family, the pirates on the ship, all crashing down, and he's alone again, just like he told the kids earlier in the season. I'm lost and alone. I'm just like you.
I'm lost. I'm alone.
And to bring that back to the beginning of the scene, you know, Wim saying, hey, come with us, Jod. And him saying, nope, I'm staying behind. I'm going to watch my ship go down, reflect on that, have that nostalgic kind of walk up to the window, and then the full realization of everything is crumbling down. And the acting here, like is that a smirk? I don't know. Is this a like, man, they got me. They got the best of me here. Or is that no, I know how I can make this work in my favor. I think you could argue one way or the other, depending on if you're even paying attention to the music or the acting or all the other story points in the background. I love that speculation that the music allows us to have. And even after this scene, as the ship is slowly crashing and the theme expands a little bit more, it's just so powerful and so well done. Mick Giachinno, I think, did an excellent job with this. I wish he scored the trailer instead of that Major Tom cover kind of parody song that they did. And this is another instance of a new composer coming into Star Wars and, putting their own stamp on it. And it reminds me a lot of Marva's funeral march from Andor, and another scene that features the flute. So again, like, such a simple melody, such a simple instrumentation. And while I would say like both of those scenes don't feel inherently like John Williams Star Wars scoring to me, they still remind me of other classic Star Wars moments. With Marva's March, to me, that reminds me of like Duel of Fates, the kind of pulsing, repetitive rhythm there. Different tempos, different rhythms there, but a similar sort of intense nature to it. And with this scene from Skeleton Crew, it almost reminds me of the Binary Sunset a little bit, where we have those slower, longer legato notes and the contour of the melody sort of jumping up and reaching for a high note, but not quite getting there and kind of retreating. Both of those melodies have that sort of yearning, that longing for more, but not quite getting there yet. And they're both a little bit mysterious. This idea that you can like interpret what the melody means and how it makes you feel. And every time you watch it, you could hear it a little bit differently. You could see it a little bit differently. And I guess kind of my last note here on this scene and even the scene from Andor, both of those feel like pop melodies to me. La do fa mi do. Like that's something I might put into a song. This pop sort of melody structure kind of inherently speaks to me. It feels more familiar. It feels more relatable. Even though it's really simple, it does what it's supposed to do. It elevates the scene. It tells a story on its own. I can listen to just the soundtrack on Spotify and still feel the same emotion. What more can I say? It's just really well done. And I'd love to know what you thought about the music in these scenes. So drop your comments down below and make sure to hit subscribe. I really appreciate your support and I appreciate you watching here today. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.